Hey everybody, Derek here to bring another video for The Walking Dead countdown to the start of Season 6. And what I'm going to be doing in this video is kind of giving a little bit of an overview for predictions for Carol. I haven't made a video on Carol since the Season 6 trailer came out, and there were some notable things in there that I think were very interesting. Carol really didn't have a lot of dialogue, but she did have some scenes that I think were very, very intense, very amazing, and I can't wait to see what they are going to do with her character. But I'm going to give a couple of predictions for what I think her character might be doing within the first 8 episodes of the season. So just in case you guys are not caught up with Season 6 of Walking Dead and you don't want to be spoiled, this video will contain spoilers. Okay. So obviously we know that Carol is definitely one of the most amazing complex characters of The Walking Dead. And again, just when I think that they can't make her character any more interesting, they slap me in the face and say, Derek, you're wrong. We can make Carol more interesting. And I think that it's great. Anytime you can keep a character around and make an interesting story, I say do it. And I really think that they have done some very great things with Carol. And I wonder what they will continue to do. And as we go into Season 6, obviously there are a lot of things that have been going on with Carol since she got into the Alexandria safe zone. One is that, in a sense, she's really been a spy for Rick's group. She came in and all of a sudden just starts expressing herself as more of a, I don't want to call her weaker, but maybe, masking the abilities that she has. I think that's the best way to put it. And she takes the gun off and is just like struggling to take it off, making herself out to really be like somebody who hasn't killed people, hasn't killed walkers, that Rick's group basically protected her and she served as, kind of like a mother figure to the group, cooking meals and, being enthusiastic and keeping them going. That's the attitude that she really gives off. But we, of course, know there's more to the story. And I think that that had a dual purpose. I mean, one is the fact that, how would Alexandria actually react if they found out what Carol has done? And I don't know. That would definitely be an interesting perspective, is to find out, how would they feel if they knew that Carol killed Karen and David? How would they find out if they knew that she had killed a teenage girl, Lizzie? Things along those lines. That's a borderline kind of an argument. And you really wonder if they would have accepted her into the community after hearing about some of the things that she's done. So I think that was one purpose. But of course, the other purpose behind it is, of course, to keep her group safe. It's to make sure that nobody inside this community is a danger that would go against Rick's group and try to either kill them, kick them out, make them out to seem like they're bad people, and to target individuals who are a danger. And you saw her do that with Pete. I mean, she picked up on that as well as Rick. Everybody else was doing their own thing. I mean, but, Carol was able to see what was going on with Pete and Jesse. And that's something that Carol has unfortunately personally experienced with Ed. And, I think that she was able to pick up on that, and she brought it to Rick's attention. And of course, we've also seen that Carol has done some things to really help out. She threatened Sam in order to make sure that he wouldn't tell anybody that Carol took the guns for Rick and Daryl. Well, I guess Daryl didn't take a gun, but anyways, you get the point. And of course, Carol was involved with threatening Pete, which, hey, the guy deserved it. I'm not gonna, fault her for that. But going into Season 6, you really have to wonder, is the mask finally going to come off of Carol and she has to reveal who she really is in order to save people? And I think that's a very good possibility here. I don't think Carol can stay undercover forever. I don't know how that would necessarily play out 100%, but I have an idea. But obviously, she's been able to stay under the radar. She's gotten to know people in Alexandria. by just being this friendly person who seems to understand and fit in with what they do, but in all honesty, she knows the right way to survive in her mind. But I think that that's really going to have to go away once season 6 starts. And part of the reason I say that is because of the trailer. If you look at the trailer, you'll see like various images with Carol, excuse me, and you see that she is looking out through the bushes at some guy who's taking an axe to one of the members of Alexandria, which I think is Eric, because the clothing that the person is wearing is very similar to the clothing that Eric or some other character is wearing later on in the trailer when they're being brought in to Dr. Denise. That's around the 3-minute point, I think. But you see her looking at this and seeing that, you know, people have obviously infiltrated the Alexandria safe zone. Either the walls were opened or there was another way to get in. They got in and, you know, they're obviously hurting people. And you see them also going into a house because I think that they are, you know, in a sense, stealing from the group. It may be the wolves. It may just be random scavengers. You know, we really don't know. There's no proof that these were actually the wolves because you don't see a W because their faces are too far away. But you see Carol running through a backyard with a gun, and then later on in the trailer you see Carol with, you know, this black, well, at least who I think is Carol, with like a black hood over herself. Because you see later on Carol is wearing this big black jacket and gloves, and is walking down the street. And then you also see in the trailer somebody with a black jacket and a hood over their face running out and shooting two of the individuals that have infiltrated Alexandria. And I really think that what's going to happen here is it's either the wolves or it's some other random group that's not good. They did say there would be multiple threats, so I think it's very likely these could be just random people. We'll find out. But I think that Rick and a lot of the other individuals are going to go out to take care of the walker problem. They seem to be traveling outside of the walls and even away from the perimeter. So there's a very good possibility that they leave and Rick may leave Carol in charge. Because I think Rick is going to want somebody there who he trusts, and that's Carol. And I think that Carol really would be the kind of person that could watch over the community, and she would report back to Rick. Well, I think that these individuals will come into the walls, hurt people, and then Carol's going to take them out, just like she did at Terminus. And as a result of that, if people know, people are going to be like, whoa, Carol did this? Carol did this? Like, the woman who, you know, seems like the mother of Alexandria, you know, the sweet, innocent lady? Really? And I think that that's going to shock people. And I really think that her actions, if she is the one that does that, or if she is the kind of person who would save the community, then they're going to start to realize that, you know, Carol was a fraud. And I really wonder if that's going to be something that may really get people concerned. You know, really realizing that Rick's group has gone to extreme lengths in order to spy on them and, you know, lie to them repeatedly, you know, by stealing the guns, things like that. And it really makes you wonder if that is going to make people feel betrayed and if they're going to look at Carol in a different way. Then, of course, the other thing that you really have to wonder with Carol is, will Sam tell Jesse or tell anybody that Carol threatened him? And, I mean, that could be a very good possibility. I really think so. Obviously, I would not say that Sam is 100% at fault for his father's death. I mean, that's Pete's own fault. Come on. But if Sam would have said something about the guns, then there is a very good possibility that Pete wouldn't have been shot, or that some of the events that happened later on in the story would not have happened. And obviously, Sam is probably going to be scared and concerned. and maybe even feeling a little bit guilty. I mean, there are a lot of different possibilities for what he may be feeling. And I think that there are a couple of possibilities. I think either one, he's going to tell his brother, Ron, and then Ron's going to tell Jesse, or Sam's just going to flat out tell Jesse or tell somebody. But I think that it will get out one way or the other. I think that it is something that has to be dealt with. And it may be a little bit of an eye-opening experience for Carol. I really do wonder, what will her character do later on down the road? Because really, these kind of actions at this moment don't seem to fit with what Alexandria would do. And it really makes you wonder if that would be another point to maybe try to, banish her. I mean, obviously, I don't think it would happen. I mean, we saw she got banished once, and that did not work. But, I think that Carol would be put in a very interesting position if somebody told Jesse about what she did. And I think that Carol would really have a lot of explaining to do. But I think that Jesse is the kind of person that would understand in the end why Carol did what she did. And I think that Carol being a victim of domestic abuse, I think that that's definitely going to be something that Jesse and her can relate to. And I think that both of them will understand. I think that Carol will tell Jesse some things about her life and about Sophia and justify herself. And I think that Jesse will understand. And I think, in all honesty, I really would not be surprised if only Jesse found out and nobody else does. That she would not tell anybody what happened, because if she does, then everybody's going to be ticked. I think that there is a very good possibility that we may see that play out. But I think that Carol really is going to be focused on helping to watch the community with Rick, helping to make sure that everything stays orderly. But again, I think that really her cover will be blown, I think, once these individuals invade, or if she ever has to step up and take care of the situation. I think that honestly, people are going to realize she's not who she says she is, and how they're going to react to that is very questionable. But I think that, again, Carol is doing these things in order to help her group, to keep them safe. And I can respect that. But I really do wonder, in the future, what are they going to do with her? Will her actions start to be less drastic, maybe? Or will they have more issues coming on down the road? It's hard to say, but I think within these first couple episodes, those are the things that Carol is going to be dealing with. Obviously, she's going to be taking care of the community, but I think another thing that's really going to be going on is she's going to be really having to deal with that situation with Sam and Jesse, and I think she will handle it well. I don't think that Jesse's going to hold a grudge against her once she finds out about Carol's past, how Sophia died, things like that. I think that Jesse would understand. But I think Carol's got a lot of great stuff coming up, and I really am excited. I mean, these characters are absolutely amazing, but obviously Carol's development is probably one of the most shocking, the most amazing, and the most intriguing of pretty much any of the characters. And I can only think about where they're going to go from there. Would they kill her off? I don't know. There are lots of possibilities there, but that's for a different video when I talk about my death predictions video. So with that, I'm going to bring this video to a close. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions or comments, don't be afraid to leave them. Feel free to subscribe. I do have more videos coming. If there are any suggestions that you guys have for future videos, do not be afraid to suggest them. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and thank you very much for watching.